And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. Today is Monday, September 29th, 2025. I'm your host, St. Nick, and we got a great show for y'all today. Wow, what a beautiful Sunday slate. I mean, damn. Just when we thought we had the finger on the pulse here in the NFL, Jackson Dart plays meh, and they get the win. So today on the show, folks, I mean, we got to break down that entire Sunday slate, week 4 in the NFL, because so far people are not learning what they're supposed to be learning from these games. The takeaway from the Giants game, it should not be that Jackson Dart is him. They still couldn't get it done in the red zone, folks. It's Brian Daboll. Jackson Dart is good. I'm not here to knock Jackson Dart, but Brian Daboll's scheme and system, I mean, they rode that momentum. They rode that kind of week 1, first quarterback start. They rode all that momentum to the win there, and Justin Herbert's interceptions once again crept into the conversation. So we got a lot of games to talk about. People, I mean, y'all are getting me. People are clowning Liam Cohn for the after game when the Niners started it in the first place. We have a lot to get to, folks. We also have 2 more games tonight, baby. Let me hear it. Another doubleheader on Monday night. And unfortunately, the NFL is listening to y'all because these games are at 7:15 and 8:15. So we're going to get overlap. You'll probably watch the first, about first half. We'll probably get like midway second quarter, and then the second game kicks off. I didn't mind having the game at 7 and 7:30 and then like 10 o'clock. I know y'all hated it because y'all got to get up for work and all that, and I understand. I get it. East Coast, it sucks. But me personally, I don't want 2 games going on at the same time. But that's where we are in the NFL. So we do got 2 games on tonight. We'll go over them. We'll give our picks. I mean, folks, if you're not gushing about the Dolphins, I don't know what we're doing. So we'll make our picks and predictions for the 2 Monday night games because week 4 ain't truly over just quite yet, folks. Alrighty, so let's just jump right into it. We have a few stories, basketball and college I want to touch on, but we're not going to spend really any time on it. So here we go. Let's just jump right into it. The first one, another story by Pablo Torre. More information coming out about Steve Ballmer paying, and then we have Mark Cuban once again running to his defense. Look at this tweet here, folks. Look at this tweet. Just absolutely ridiculous. So once again, we get the he said, she said, Pablo, Mark Cuban. I'm in Pablo's corner. I always have been. I mean, the evidence that I'm seeing with my own eyes, it looks damning. It looks very damning. But, Mark Cuban, so much smarter than everybody, types out these paragraphs, these essays on why actually, Pablo, you're wrong. Now, he does want to come back on the show. Mark Cuban, at the end of the tweet, says, just have me back on the podcast. I'm sure Pablo would love to have you. I don't think Pablo's ever been kind of running from having you on the podcast. I think it's more the other way around, but I digress. Just the new information coming out today. Steve Ballmer quietly donated $1.875 million to charity of Aspirations co-founder who, quote, conned him 1.5 years later after the Clippers deal ended. So you get swindled, the deal goes after 1.5 years, and then you donate to the charity of the guy that conned you. Okay, that makes sense. $1.875 million, yep. And then the next one, text shows Kawhi's agent pushed for a $28 million, quote, no-show payday, while insiders say Aspirations founder guaranteed another $20 million in equity. So we know that, Kawhi Leonard and his uncle were, pushing for the private jet, other endorsements, and a little bit of ownership of the team. For every team he was trying to go to, and the Clippers said, hey, we'll sign you. So that's where we are. More news, and Mark Cuban instantly jumps on Twitter. You got to love it. Alrighty, I mean, this should have been the biggest news of yesterday, but I don't know. I don't know, folks. Shout out to him. I know he's so big. He's very big internationally. I know America isn't, the main character of the entire world. I get it. But if we're going to have, the American sport, I don't know. First of all, I'm just not a fan of his music. Let me just say that. I have listened to it because it gets shoved down all of our throats everywhere. Bad Bunny, folks. Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime performer in the Super Bowl this year. Give it up for him, folks. Bad Bunny. Now, once again, shout out. I've got no problems with Bad Bunny. I'm not here to start any problems with Bad Bunny. But I just don't think this is kind of Super Bowl material. And like I said, I know he's big. He's big, folks. This is a big name overseas, okay? Very big. The WWE loves shoving him down our throats. He shows up at all the events. He wrestles. They go crazy. Well, I guess they go crazy for him. People also go crazy for the song Fiend. That gets shoved down our throats, but I still don't even think people like that. Fiend. It's enough. It's enough. So, Bad Bunny, the Super Bowl halftime performer, and what makes this so funny, folks, what's an overall theme we talk about here at Takes by Fans? Nothing matters. Nothing truly matters. Capitalism, money at the end of the day, money talks. Nobody really has any true, what are those things called that nobody has anymore? Integrity, morals. It's all money. Why have morals when you can have money, right, folks? Because Bad Bunny in September, in an interview, said that he would not perform in mainland United States as part of his upcoming world tour due to concerns that the U.S. Immigration and Customs, ICE, would be outside his concerts. So he didn't want to get his fans kind of, deported. We hear about what ICE is doing. They're sitting out of home, they're sitting outside of Home Depots and snatching them all up. It's crazy, but so Bad Bunny said, you know what? I'm not even gonna put my fans through that. Because some of my fans could be illegally in the U.S., and I'm not going to, have them come out to my concert when there's ICE there, and it's a whole gotcha trap. Not going to do that. But for the Super Bowl, okay. For the right money, okay. I don't like what the United States, I don't agree with that country's policy. But you know what? That's a lot of money. I think I can look the other way. I can turn my other ear, my old bunny ear, my Bad Bunny ear. I can, how bunnies kind of, use their ears to cover their eyes sometimes? That's Bad Bunny. Oh, you know what? I would love to do my concert in the United States, but, I just don't agree. My morals, my principles, my integrity. I don't want ICE to deport anybody that, is questioning of legal status in America. I don't want to put anybody through that. I have too many good morals. Oh my God, it would break my heart if my fans got arrested at my concert. I couldn't put them through that. I won't perform in the United States. Unless we're talking NFL money, all right? Because that money, oh baby. The NFL is giving him a bag. Well, I don't know. Is that true? Isn't the rumor is that, these guys really don't get paid too much? So what is it, Bad Bunny? Are you just throwing your morals to the wayside for nothing? For the exposure, the publicity? Not everybody's happy about it. But there it is, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Compromises his morals. What a shame. What a shame. All right, really quickly, I do got to touch upon some things in college football because it was a great college football weekend. Shout out to that. But let's start here. I mean, I love a nice little, I hate to call it trolls because it's really not. It's just, with competition, comes the John, the barking after the game, pre-game, all that. Oh, hey, we beat your ass. We're going to talk about it. That's the thing about competition. Something you earn when you win, right? And the official Ole Miss, folks. We had Ole Miss, LSU. Great game. Came down to the wire. Ole Miss wins. But they post after the game. They post after this game this great meme. We know of, Kelly at LSU doing kind of that recruiting thing where he stands with the player on the podium and the camera spins 360 and it takes the thing. We saw him doing kind of the eyes like this. So they kind of just memeified this photo in kind of the most earliest, like 2008 meme thing you can do with that big bass over the music. I don't even want to unmute it because it's going to be loud on y'all. But this is great. I mean, this is what I love, dude. This troll job, quote unquote troll. We got to come up with a new word of it. Competition troll, like true competitive troll. We got to kind of come up with a new name for this. But I love this. Ole Miss. Getting back at LSU, and rightfully so. All right, big kind of targeting, kind of no call here. Penn State, Oregon. Penn State, I mean, this was a close game, right down to the wire. And when this happened, folks, you heard everybody go silent because everybody in the broadcast booth knew that this was a clear on targeting hit. And so everybody was quiet. Nobody said anything. They bring in the rules analysis. Hey, you want to chime in on this? And then he does his spiel. Well, actually, I think he actually hits him with the hairline. He leads with the hairline of his helmet and not the crown. So it's actually not a penalty at all. Folks, when the hell is this ever not a penalty? Come on. And look, this was, late in the game on the line. I get it. You don't want to influence the game. And I understand that sentiment. I truly do. But at the same time, we can't have egregious calls go by the wayside to have a kind of down to the wire finish close game. And that's something that we saw a lot this week overall, honestly, between college and the NFL. A lot of holding the flag, swallowing the whistle. And once again, usually I agree with that. I don't want to see the refs, influencing the outcomes of games. It's nobody wants to see that. But when the penalty is this egregious, you have to throw the flag. And it really felt like all weekend long, like I said, between college and NFL, when the games were kind of getting close, everybody was swallowing the whistle, even with really kind of in-your-face egregious penalties. We saw it all across the league. So, We can't. We got to call this. You got to call this. You got to call that targeting. I mean, that's literally the crown. I know the announcer said, or the rules analysis said, hairline, but that ain't no fucking hairline, dude. That's literally the crown. That's the top of the helmet, dude. So, it's just real bizarre. Once again, these leagues, they don't put themselves in a great light, and it's getting worse every single year. And it's still not, we're 5 weeks in, and we've got a mountain of evidence, folks, of these refs and bad kind of no calls at bad times. All right, and then the last thing, and I can't even do this because I'm going to freak out. Kirk Herbstreit says, quote, my dog is, quote, Taylor Swift of college football. Dude, this guy, I can't stand Kirk Herbstreit. First of all, he doesn't even understand NFL football. We hear him in the booth. We hear him in the broadcast. He doesn't know the history of football. He doesn't know it. He's a college guy. Go back down to college. Once again, why does everybody need to do everything? Kirk Herbstreit does college, and he does the Thursday night it's enough. Enough with the fucking dog, and enough with you yourself, Kirk. I can't even go into this article. I don't want to even read I don't want to read the real quote. I don't want to see more of this dog, dude. I'm about to lose it. And we get this, and I think this is true. I'm not going to fact check this because it's not worth my time. Enough with this dog, dude. It's taken up enough of my time. But I do believe this is so. I do believe Kirk Herbstreit replaced his dog. We get this tweet out here, and I do remember maybe hearing about this story. I still think that it's just insane. An insane move how he swapped out identical dogs after the first one passed away and kept it pushing the very next Saturday, LMAO. So he doesn't even care, dude. Oh, I just need a dog. America loves dog. America will love me because I have a dog. I don't give a fuck about the dog. Just make sure they look alike. Does this dog look like the other one that just died? I don't love these dogs. I just need an identical dog. So that's Kirk Herbstreit and his Taylor Swift dog. Hey, Kirk, everybody got sick of the Taylor Swift. So I don't know if that's the route you really want to go down. People are going to get sick of the fucking dog, Kirk. All right. That's all we needed to talk about there, folks, so we can finally move on. So let's get down to it. An entire Sunday of NFL football, and I truly meant an entire Sunday, because we started at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time over across an international body of water, folks. They were in Ireland. Bink. The Irish got a good show, baby. So let's start there. Vikings at Steelers in Ireland, baby. And look, the Steelers, the biggest takeaway is this Steelers defense, it's back, baby. We saw the first 2 weeks, they were looking very ugly, gave up a lot of points, weren't making big stops. Last week, they really came alive against New England in the second half, or whenever the opposing team, the Patriots would cross midfield, that defense for the Steelers locked in, and we kind of saw the same exact thing yesterday in Ireland. Steelers get the win 24-21. The defense for the Steelers just absolutely getting it done. We had TJ Watt, interception. We had Deshaun Elliott, an interception. 2 picks on good old Carl Wentz. They were getting after it. Patrick Queen had a sack. I thought he had 2. TJ Watt with another sack. Elliott with a sack. Hairbig got a sack and a half. Benton got a sack and a half. They were all over Carson Wentz. So this Steelers defense, once again, the biggest takeaway, they finally arrived. And Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things. 18 of 22, so efficient with the football. 200 yards, 1 touchdown. The sling ball to DK Metcalf takes it 80 yards for the score. Love seeing big old DK Metcalf run down the field. You got to love it. No Tyler Warren in this game. We kind of heard about that, I think the morning of, or like that kind of late Saturday night. But Kenneth Gainwell comes in and looks beautiful. Looks great. Kenneth Gainwell, 19 rushes for 99 yards and had 2 touchdowns and was the second leading receiver with 6 catches for 35 yards. The second leading receiver on the team, with DK Metcalf obviously being number 1. 5 receptions, 126 yards, and that touchdown, that 80-yard bomb. Well, not bomb, but 80-yard run. So Steelers get it done. They get it done in the clutch as well. Fourth quarter, game on the line. Vikings, a minute left. They're starting on their own 20. They got to move. They got to move quick. And they don't move at all. They get to their own 32-yard line. It's 4th and 17, and that's the game right there. Carson Wentz can't get it done. So Vikings kept it close, 24-21. I think they are kind of licking their chops to get J.J. McCarthy back. I think they still will go to J.J. McCarthy once he's fully healthy. Carson Wentz, these 2 interceptions, not great. You know, you got your receivers involved, which is great. Justin Jefferson, 126 yards on 10 catches. Jordan Addison's first game back, 4 catches, 114 yards, picking up exactly where he left off. But just not getting it done, when it really matters. And that's something we know about Carson Wentz. He doesn't really care. That's his biggest knock. He doesn't care about the games. He doesn't care about football. He doesn't care about winning. He's just all right at playing quarterback. Big, beefy quarterback, good size. So he plays quarterback. He hangs around. But when it's time to get it done, not the greatest. Not the greatest. So really bad first half here by the Vikings. Couldn't really get anything going. Kind of put it together, but once again, already too late. And the Vikings and the Steelers get the dub, 24-21. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, really. I mean, he's looking very solid out there. Movement, his biggest knock, but that zip, that fling on the ball, that great leadership. There was this moment, I think it was on the DK Metcalf touchdown. We kind of saw, how he interacted with the sideline, with the coaches, with the Jets last year. Robert Saleh trying to give him a hug. He doesn't like it. He kind of shoves him off. But there was a point in this game where I think, like I said, I think it was the DK Metcalf touchdown where Aaron Rodgers kind of points to the sideline like, you fucking dirty dogs, baby. What a call. We see Mike Tomlin with a little bit of a big old smile like, yeah, we did that. We called that. So it's just great energy on this team. And like I said, this defense kind of truly finding its footing these last 2 weeks. This Steelers team is now the real deal. And with the way the Ravens are playing, I mean, this is the Steelers division to win here, folks, truly. So watch out. The Steelers are in full form. They have finally arrived. 24-21. They beat the Vikings. Alrighty, next game up, we got Washington at Atlanta. And, hey, Atlanta, they're back on track, baby. Put up a goose egg offensively last week. They put up 34 points this week. Bink, bink, bink. Michael Penix Jr., sheesh, you shouldn't have. 20 of 26 for 313 yards. Bink. 2 touchdowns. He also had a pick. All right, we got to clean that up. Bijan Robinson, you know, he's always doing himself out here. 17 rushes, 75 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 4 catches for 106 yards. Remember when Bijan Robinson's receiving yards was at 360 and we were absolutely gushing over it, folks? Bink, I think he's already hit it. I think Javonte Williams has already hit his 500 rushing yard season total, and I'm pretty sure Bijan Robinson has hit his 370 yard receiving yard total so far, folks. We absolutely were gushing over those folks. And they're cashing not even a quarter of the way through the season. You got to love it. So this Falcons offense comes back alive. Drake London, leading receiver, 8 receptions, 110 yards, 120 yards. But no Scary Terry. Not a lot of options to go to. Deebo Samuel, 6 catches, 72 yards. He had a touchdown. I do love this as well. Luke McCaffrey, 2 catches, 21 yards and a touchdown, but that was it. Why is Luke McCaffrey not being kind of elevated here offensively when Scary Terry is out? Like I said, I mean, shout out to Washington, you know, able to move the ball, 27 points. And I mean, with these stats, I mean, these are disgusting, but still able to make it work. I do want to see Luke McCaffrey more involved offensively. We got a little bit here, but I need more than just that taste. Luke McCaffrey can play, folks. So, Falcons get the dub 34-27. Takeaway here is that Atlanta a little back in Washington. I mean, that offense, I got to shout out Cliff Kingsbury, baby. Good overall game here. Good overall game. Falcons win 34-27. Alrighty, this game. Let's get this game out of the way. Unbelievable. No audio. No audio. The people are saying no audio. That's great. That's great. I see audio on my end. No audio. No audio. I think we're good. You might just have to refresh it wherever you're. I see we're having issues connecting as we're live here. So maybe try to refresh if you're on Twitch or YouTube. But I do believe we have sound on my end. But I appreciate you bringing that up. And if we don't, I got really no other way to fix it. But I appreciate you. Alrighty. Let's go to this game now here. We got Saints and Bills, and this should have been easy. Should have been easy. Bills minus 15.5. They can't even cover that. We were gushing over Josh Allen. 5 passing touchdowns. I think he ended with 2. He had a rushing touchdown as well, kind of sticking it to me. And I do believe that Josh Allen is trying to slight me. I do believe Josh Allen knows who I am, and I do believe that Josh Allen does all this in spite of me. I do believe Josh Allen knows who I am. He hears my voice. He thinks I'm slandering him and knocking him, but I'm really not. It's everybody else's. It's everybody else getting to Josh Allen. I digress. I like Josh Allen. I've got no problem with Josh Allen. But I do believe Josh Allen does all of this stuff, doesn't cover the 15 points against the Saints. I mean, come on. You made this look like a competitive game. You only threw 2 touchdowns when we were gushing over the 5+ at 2,700, plus 2,700. So I do believe Josh Allen is doing this in spite of me. Not blowing out the Saints in spite of me. Not throwing for 5 touchdowns in spite of me. So I apologize. I apologize for Josh Allen's actions, folks, because this game was a lot closer than it even should have been. I mean, folks, this was 14-10 going into halftime. This was like one scores game, Saints going to take the lead. Did they ever take the lead in the second half? Did they take the lead or did they stop them? They stopped them both times. 21-19 was the closest it got. And why the heck is it getting that close? I mean, I guess I'll give the Bills defense a little credit of locking up in the red zone. They did that. They let the Saints kind of march all up and down this field, but in the red zone, that's when they kind of locked in and forced the field goal. So I guess we'll give the Bills defense a little credit. But this is atrocious. I mean, first 2 drives, touchdown by the Bills. And then interception, then punt. Oh, no, now we can't do anything. Josh Allen, the greatest football player ever. Little stunned by the Saints. So game was overall close here. Bills win 31-19. They don't cover the 15.5. Classic. Spencer Rattler, I mean, 18 of 27 for 126 yards. Once again, Robert Saleh says this is a household name waiting to happen. We're going to be waiting a long time here. 1 touchdown by Spencer Rattler and just not getting it done in the red zone. I mean, Spencer Rattler could have really came into his own in this game, truly. Able to move the ball up and down the field. Like I said, this was close in the fourth quarter. 1 possession game. But Spencer Rattler not able to get it done in the red zone, unfortunately. And, that's kind of the biggest thing now. Now that we're, starting drives at the 35-yard line and all you really need is like 20 yards to be serviceable, to be in scoring range, red zone importance is at an all-time max right now. So Spencer Rattler, we got to kind of work on that. Work on the red zone, all right? All right, Rat Man, get it done. Alvin Kamara, I mean, he does his thing wherever. 15 rushes for 70 yards. Kendre Miller also had a very good game. 11 rushes for 65 yards. He also went for a touchdown. And then we had Spencer Rattler using those legs, slithering around. 6 rushes for 49 yards. Rashid Shaheed, no surprise, leading receiver, 4 catches, 47 yards. But once again, just not enough. Shout out to putting up 19 points. Josh Allen, 16 of 22, very efficient, 72%. 2 touchdowns. He had the interception. He was sacked 3 times, knocked around. James Cook, we stand for our running backs. Absolutely love them. Great game. 22 rushes, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen had to get himself a rushing touchdown as well, we know. Mr. Game Ball can't be upshown by the actual running back. Hey, I can run 2. We know, Josh. We get it. 7 rushes, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman at the top leading receivers here for the Bills. 5 catches, 69 yards, 1 touchdown for Shakir, and 3 catches, 45 yards for Keon Coleman. So, overall, shout out to the Bills. Once again, I mean, we kind of brought this up, last week, at the end of last week, like, are the Bills actually a good team? You beat the Ravens, but it, took that big comeback, and now we know the Ravens aren't good. You beat the Dolphins, you beat the Jets. Are those good teams overall? You go close with the Dolphins, number 32 worst team in the league, right? So, Bills not dominating. This was a game to dominate. I mean, last year at home, this was supposed to be the game where, you set the records. Like, this is the game that, you were supposed to go buck wild, Josh Allen, and you didn't. So, all right, this Bills team is so good, I know. They make the games with the Saints close. Bills get the win, 31-19. All right, next game up here, Browns at Lions, and you got to, dude. What the heck are y'all doing over there in Cleveland? You have to move off of Joe Flacco right this instant. We told y'all had to do it last week. You didn't listen to us, and you once again kept him going, and he throws another 2 picks. This is Joe Flacco. I hate everybody, getting big on Joe Flacco because 3 years ago, he snuck into the playoffs, squawked into the playoffs by like one game while throwing like 12 interceptions. But nobody looked at that. They all just looked at the few touchdowns he had and the few games he won. You got to move off of Joe Flacco. I mean, the Browns were in this game, folks. This Browns defense, there's a little something there, truly. But this Joe Flacco is so atrociously trash. He gives you no chance to win. You got to go to Gabriel. You got to go to Shedeur Sanders. You got to go to one of the two. You have to. Joe Flacco, 16 of 34, folks. That's 47. That's 47%. That's dude. This is absurd. Absurdly shit. 47%, folks. I mean, this has got to be the lowest in like years. Can I grok this real quick? I mean, I want to say this is like the lowest in like the last 10 years. Minimum. What's the lowest completion percentage? Thrown in an NFL game. It's got to be up. It's got to be as one of the worst ever. The lowest completion percentage thrown in an NFL game with a minimum of 20 pass attempts is 9% by Dave Wilson of the New Orleans Saints in 1985. 9%. Sheesh. Joe Flacco, you're almost as bad as Dave Wilson out there, okay? So you got to move off of Joe Flacco now. They were in this game all throughout, folks. I mean, at halftime, this is 20-7 at halftime, and it's I want to say it was even closer than that. Basically like 7-10. 7-10. 5 minutes left. It gets a little crazy. They are able to put up like 10 points in 5 minutes, but this was close second quarter, even still at halftime. And Joe Flacco just can do nothing. Your first drive, you go touchdown. 7-7 at the end of very close to the first quarter. But then we get the interception by Joe Flacco. Leads to 3 points by the Lions, still in the game. The next Browns drive at the punt. The Lions punted. All right, we're still in it. What does Joe Flacco do? 4 and out, got a punt. The Lions, they also go 4 and out. They have to punt. It's still 10-7. And what does Joe Flacco do? He throws an interception. Now it's 17-7. And they punt on the next one. And then the Lions score a field goal. Now it's 20-7, and we go into halftime. First drive for the Browns. I mean, 2-score game. Still in it. What do? 4th and 10. 4th and 10. They got a punt. 10 plays. The Lions throw an interception on the next drive. They're still in it. The Browns are still in it. But they have to settle for a field goal. Okay, all right. The next Lions drive at the punt. 20-10. Browns still in it. But once again, drive stalls at the Detroit Lions 38-yard line. They have to settle for not that long of a field goal. For 56 yards, no good. But they're still in it. 20-10, and they're still in it. Lions, they go for it on 4th down at Cleveland's 24. They don't get it. 10-point game, still in it. 3 and out, 4 and out by the Browns. Ross St. Brown doing him on Ross St. Brown thing. 7 targets, 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Lions kind of snuck away with one here. Snuck away. We got to give this Browns defense a little love. It's a lot better than I think a lot of people are giving it credit for. But that offense is so atrocious. Joe Flacco's got to go. Old, washed up Joe's got to go. All right. Next one up here. We've got Titans at the Texans. And once again, the takeaway here, folks, the national media, I mean, here, these are the tweets after the game. The Texans' 26 win over the Titans was the type of performance Texans fans were hoping and exciting to see this season. And for one day at least, it feels like 2023 over again. That's a real tweet somebody had after watching that game. I don't think that's the takeaway. We had Ian Rappaport tweet, a great look at the Texans making a major change with defensive coordinator Matt Burke calling plays and pitching a shutout. Is this the takeaway from the game? Because this was 6-0 heading into the fourth quarter, okay? And look, I give you credit. You put up 20 points in the fourth quarter. Everything finally started to click. But that was because, the Titans, once again, went all game not scoring and still turning the ball over in the fourth quarter. Short drives. I mean, you're starting, these 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter starting at Tennessee's 44 and Tennessee's 31. 3 yards, once again, optically very good. The running backs, Mark, 69 yards rushing. Nick Chubb, 47 yards rushing. Nico Collins, leading receiver, 79 yards. Mark, second leading receiver, 50 yards and a touchdown. So I don't know about the overall takeaway. The overall takeaway of this game is that, there's still a little something going on with the Texans. Still a little something. The defense is fine, okay. But the offense, it's not, we shouldn't be jumping in like head first in this Texans team moving forward. We had CJ Stroud after the game, and just kind of listen to this here, folks. Once again, we don't look at this as like 26-0 dominant win by the Texans. This is CJ Stroud after the game.
That rhythm you found at the end of the third quarter, you guys finally made it into the red zone, then you scored. The floodgates open from there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are just playing us shell and, not giving us big plays. So it's up to me, to be smart with the ball, chip the ball down, run the ball really well, and then the big plays will come. And then once the big play came to Nico, that was when everything kind of opened up.
So once again, I mean, we're seeing this all over the NFL here, folks. A lot of defenses, and it kind of started. I don't want to, give credit to the Finns because they're so trash. We know what y'all say, but this really started to come about with what was this, 2023, when Tua was the leading passing yards leader in the entire NFL, and we were hitting Tyreek Hill all over the top all the time, and putting up 70 points against the Broncos and having that high-powered offense. A lot of teams kind of reverted back to kind of that cover two too high over the top, and that's taking away a lot of the big plays. And with the shrinking field and more teams kind of playing that kind of too high safety, less and less, even more less, bigger plays are going to happen. So great quote here by CJ Stroud, just kind of saying, hey, I got to kind of take the kind of the short stuff. Take what the defense is giving me, take kind of that little dink and dunk, little check down, those crossing routes, kind of the 5, the 10-yard routes. That's going to open up the deep ball. You get so many kind of deep ball opportunities, every game. Not every game you can kind of, throw the deep ball. But those opportunities are going to present themselves throughout the game. And that's what these quarterbacks need to realize. That's when I can take my shot. That's the opportunity I can take my shot. So it all started to finally click here for the Texans in the fourth quarter, and we'll see if CJ Stroud, learns from this and truly, believes and understands what he's saying in that moment, and if we can keep on kind of building up this Texans offense and get kind of CJ Stroud back into that kind of sphere he was in his rookie year, where he was, big dog. Everyone was having him, top 5 quarterback already. So Texans win 26-0. Not that dominant of a win. Cam Ward, on the other hand, I mean, we got to get something figured out. And, we saw that the Titans were giving up, play calling duties and all that. And it still just was not clicking. Something's got to change here. Titans need a big offensive mind because, once again, there is talent on this team. They should not be looking this bad. Cam Ward, 10 of 26. I mean, we're just clowning Joe Flacco for what, 46, 47% completion percentage? This is 38. I mean, I'm about to vomit. I don't know if I can do the rest of the show looking at this number. This is insane. 38% completion percentage for only 108 yards, no touchdown, 1 interception. Can't even really move the ball. Tony Pollard, solid running back, 14 rushes, 64 yards. We know Ayo Maynor, making a name for himself this season. He was the leading receiver, but 7 targets, 2 catches for 44 yards. Calvin Ridley, 2 catches, 30 yards. I mean, why can we not? Why can we not scheme anything? I mean, Tyler Lockett, 4 targets, no catches. What's up with that? I mean, you've got some speed. You got height. You've got Cam Ward. And we're still not able to scheme really any points? New coordinator, so, we'll give him another game, but real ugly here by this Titans offense. Can't be putting up 0 points. I mean, that's really bad. And then we've got, the Titans head coach at the podium. Reporter trying to be a little gotcha. Reporter asks, do you think that this is a resilient team? 0-4, do you think this is a resilient team? This is head coach's response.
Do you think this is a resilient and relentless football team?
I know what you're doing there, Paul. I know what you're doing. And I'm not going to answer that right now.
Well, I mean, those are the themes that you've tried to catch.
Yeah,
on this football team. You're 20-some games in.
Yeah.
And you're stuck.
I'm going to just compose myself here before I say something I regret. But, yes, I think this team is resilient. I think it is relentless. We haven't played good enough football, and I think those are two very distinct, different things. We have to execute at a better level. We have to coach better. That's really.
All right, so coach kind of, short temper, and I get it, losing, you got to stand up there. You're the head coach. You're going to get blamed. You could potentially be on the hot seat. I get it, but something's going to have to change here. Something's going to have to change. Very defensive here with the reporter just asking the question, is this a resilient team? We get Cam Ward, after the game press conference saying, hey, to keep it blunt, we're ass. We're playing like ass out there. So we'll see. But this Titans offense, I mean, they've got weapons. They've got talent. They just got to put it all together. All righty, let's keep moving here. Few more games to go over. Next one here is Carolina at Patriots. And look, we told y'all don't buy into the Carolina because, they shut out the Falcons last week and all that. This Panthers team is still not good. Bryce Young, can't buy into them. 60% completion percentage, 18 of 30, 150 yards, 1 touchdown for Bryce Young. Whoop-de-doo. Chuba Hubbard, 10 rushes, 49 yards. McMillan, leading receiver, 4 catches, 62 yards. But at the end of the day, they gave up 42 big ones, baby. Drake May just playing great game-managing football, and that's all we've seen by this man. Good game-managing football. We really rarely see the turnovers. I know the Steelers kind of got to the Patriots last week. But they were still in that game. So Drake May, 14 of 17. They throw the ball 17 times, folks, and put up 42 points. 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 82% completion percentage. Ramondre Stevenson, 9 rushes, 38 yards. Trayvon Henderson, 7 rushes, 32 yards. He scored a touchdown. Antonio Gibson, 6 rushes, 27 yards. He scored a touchdown. Running back by committee here in New England. 3 running backs deep. You got to love it. Stephon Diggs finally having one of his better games, 6 catches, 101 yards, finally kind of getting comfortable in the offense. Still going to reliable Hunter Henry, 2 catches, 39 yards, and the touchdown. So this Patriots team, I mean, very solid defense. And like I said, Drake May is, doing, everything that you really want from him. So shout out to the Patriots, a good, winnable, workable team, and one where we got great value on Patriots minus 5.5. I think was kind of our third best bet of the weekend, easily. All right, and then let's talk about this game here. Once again, I think y'all got the wrong takeaway. Y'all got a little bit of the wrong takeaway here. Giants, Chargers, and the Giants win 21-18. Justin Herbert, what the heck is this, dude? How many? 2 interceptions, Herbert? And they're bad. They're like ugly interceptions. It's like, what are we doing here? And Justin Herbert, I do have to say, where is that swagger? Where has that swagger gone? I didn't see it last week, and I didn't make that big of a stink about it. And then I didn't see it again this week. Where's, when those big plays come, when, that Quentin Johnston big play, where's, you getting jazzed up, riled up? And I know big time unfortunate Joe Alt goes down in this game real early, real unfortunate, tears his ACL. Hate to see it. But I gotta get this kind of swag Herbert back. And I feel like we've missed that the last 2 weeks, and we've kind of seen the offense be a little meh the last 2 weeks. Justin Herbert, 56% completion percentage. I mean, come on, this is ugly. What the hell is going on? 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Bleh. Omarion Hampton he is him. 12 rushes for 128 yards and a touchdown. Quentin Johnston, we love it, catching the ball. I mean, we love Quentin Johnston. He's catching everything. 8 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, second leading receiver, 5 catches, 37 yards. So once again, still getting his kind of main targets, main weapons involved. We've seen that. Ladd McConkey has kind of been very quiet this week, a little last week as well. Only 1 catch for him, 11 yards, targeted 6 times. So, overall, we're not going to, panic and think the sky is falling here with the Chargers. I still think they'll be able to be fine without Joe Alt. I know it's a big name going down and truly unfortunate, but I think they'll still be able to live and run and protect Justin Herbert. And then with the Giants here, let's not get carried away. All right, Jackson Dart wins. Everyone's gushing. He's the next him. They're turning the season around. Brian Daboll's job is safe. No, on all of that. Jackson Dart, 13 of 20 for 111 yards? Herbert, you did not lose to somebody throwing 111 yards. Come on. 1 touchdown, no pick. He gets a little banged up at the end of the game. Potential hamstring, potential leg injury. So we'll see what happens in the news coming out this week, if he's going to be able to go next week or if they're going to shut him down for precaution. But he did get a little banged up, sacked 5 times. Cam Scatterbo had a very nice game, 25 rushes for 79 yards. Jackson Dart, we know he is dual threat, 10 rushes for 54 yards. He did have a touchdown as well. Malik Neighbors, once again, he goes down. Oh, my gosh. Damn. 2 catches, 20 yards, and tears his ACL. I mean, we lose Joe Alt. We lose Malik Neighbors. Jackson Dart gets a little banged up, which once again begs the question and is going to be a big narrative all week long. We're going to have, athletes, who was it? OBJ already calling for it. But list of ACL and Achilles injuries at MetLife Stadium in the recent years, folks. This is from 2020. We had Nick Bosa, Matt Pert, Jonathan Harrison, TJ Brunson, Rodarius Williams, Shane Lemmix, Jabril Peppers, Blake Martinez, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Marcus McKenneth, Darius Beavers, Kyle Fuller, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Neighbors. All of them at MetLife Stadium. Now, we've heard from Roger Goodell. He says, we've got no evidence. I know y'all say it, but the evidence we've seen, there is no correlation. So that's them dragging their feet. Just at the end of the day, I mean, we should all okay, forget about it. Maybe turf doesn't increase soft tissue injuries or anything like that. Let's just say that is true. Nobody likes playing on it. We hear from all the athletes all the time, NFL athletes, soccer athletes, they like grass better. So that should be the reason at minimum that everything should be grass. Our players want it. The players that are supplying the product to us, the ones that are actually doing it on these surfaces, yeah, maybe we should listen to them a little bit more. So injury or no injury, the players like it. We should be doing it. So We had the international soccer players coming over here. We had the FIFA Cup, FIFA World Club. They were at MetLife Stadium, and they were like, yeah, this is shit. This is really shit. So, not good. We have, like I said, OBJ kind of calling out for the change of it. They won't do it. The NFL is more worried about the international games, right? Oh, hey, look, I don't know what you want us to do with the stadiums, with the turfs, the playing surfaces. You just better hope that the international game that you're playing in has grass, okay? Roger Goodell trying to do it. Every team has an international game every year. Don't love it. Don't love that. Don't love that. So, Jackson Dart has an all right game. He looks okay out there. Looks okay. Justin Herbert looked atrocious, and that was the game. Justin Herbert giving the game away multiple times. These turnovers, bad throws. What are we doing? And they lose. They don't cover the 6. They don't cover my best bet my second best bet of the week. Chargers -6. So Giants get to win 21-18, and now everyone's like, all right, they're back. Brian Daboll's not on the hot seat anymore, but I once again disagree. The red zone offense was still the biggest takeaway from this game overall. It was atrocious, the play calling, everything. They scored 2 touchdowns here, folks. The first one was on the first drive, and we know everything's kind of scripted on the first drive. So, yes, you score from the 15-yard line. You score in the red zone when it's scripted. And then the other touchdown they had, it also was in the red zone. I'll give them that. But it was because Justin Herbert threw an interception, and then it got returned to the 3-yard line. So their only touchdowns were a scripted play, a scripted drive, and then you get the ball on the 3-yard line. That's a gift. And you don't even get any yards on your first down. 1st and 3, you run the ball, no yards. And it's so funny, this wasn't even Brian Daboll's play. We hear Brian Daboll at the podium. Listen, this is the play, the touchdown play.
At all
To call a pass?
To call a pass in that spot? And why?
No. It's interesting with that play. It was a little bunch play. We've worked it one way for, 10 years.
We've worked it one way for 10 years. The bunch play where they score the touchdown. They worked on it one way for 10 years.
Since we've been running a play. And, Dart sees me in the locker room right before I come out here. He's like, on that play we ran, Theo and I talked about that, what it was yesterday, the day before, and that if we get this look, I want you to sit. We normally don't really sit on it. So that's a credit to 2 young players playing the game.
So the play that you installed, the way that you've always ran it for 10 years, you run that play, and because of the changes Jackson Dart and the receiver made when they were working on the play together, that's the reason the play succeeds. Because of Jackson Dart's kind of a little bit audible of the play. Hey, you receiver, you sit on this play. You kind of sit a little bit and then go. Brian Daboll just said, yeah, we don't do the play like that. So, once again, none of their win had anything to do with Brian Daboll, all right? It was all Justin Herbert being trash and Jackson Dart having to ad-lib out of the shitty designs that Brian Daboll is running. I mean, folks, this could not have been any funnier. The way that this game has gone, and you see everybody in the national media just eating up this team, folks. It's ridiculous. This is a litmus test. This is everybody. A litmus test. Litmus test. Do you know ball or not? Because if you think this Giants team is actually good from what it just did this week, you don't know ball at all. Brian Daboll doesn't even know ball, and it's the funniest thing, folks. Literally, and you can tell by his body language all throughout this question that he did not want to answer it because it was giving credit to the players and not the overall genius, the big brain of the overall offense and the design. Look at his body language here. He's trying to look down. He's trying to be like, how can I work around this question without admitting all this? He wipes his eyebrows, touches his nose. Oh, I got to give Jackson Dart credit about this play that it's kind of shit when I run it, but he comes in 1 week and instantly turns the play into a great play.
Dart sees me in the locker room.
You can't. This is Brian Daboll is still not a good coach, folks. That's the overall takeaway of this game. That's the overall. Not that the Giants are back. Okay, I can tell you that. Man. And then we get Brian Daboll after the game hugging Jackson Dart, and you can tell this man, you just saved my job. Thank you so much. You just gave me some more weeks here. Thank you so much. So we'll see. We'll see this Giants team once again flounder. Well, they got the Saints next week, so we'll see. But they just went toe-to-toe with the Bills, so if the Saints upset the Giants next week, oh, that'd be the funniest thing, folks. The funniest thing to ever happen. So Giants get the win, yes, but Herbert, let's get back into that zone, okay? All right, let's keep moving on here. Next game up here, we got Eagles at Bucks, and the Eagles squeak away with the win, 31-25, and Baker Mayfield finally crashes back down to earth, unfortunately. We saw him be, Superman, Mr. Clutch the first 3 weeks of the season, but unfortunately cannot come up clutch here. A really, really awful interception in the fourth quarter in the red zone to kind of tie the game. Was this to tie the game or to take the lead? It would have been to tie the game. First and 10. No reason to even throw the ball at the Eagles' 11-yard line. Rolls out of the pocket. I don't even know what he was thinking. Really bad interception right to the defender. But they still even had another chance to win the game. They had another chance. 4th and 9 at the Eagles' 37-yard line with 1 minute and 2 seconds left, and just